What is branding for small businesses? That's another question that's come across my path, and it's one that I want to share with you, especially the answer to what it is, especially when it comes to small businesses. Now, a lot of the time, small businesses feel that they have a different presence with regards to larger businesses. Now, to a certain extent, the difference is obvious in terms of size. However, just because they are small does not mean that they can play or be big as a big brand. Now, here's why I'm saying this. A lot of the time, especially as small business owners, I know that you feel the word small is the exact way that you have to behave. With the way that I work with my clients, that's not the case. More so in the sense where it's just the knowing of, do you know what you have to offer is absolutely important. What you have to give to people, what you have to present to people, what you have to showcase to people is more than important to be able to do so. And the way that I work with my clients, I help them to understand that not only were they more than what they see, they are equally an example of a way forwards where others need to see it being possible. When they hear that, they see it and equally start feeling that they can experience it themselves. Now, I say all that to say because representation, oh my gosh, does it matter? And whether you're a small business or not, understanding the key things that I'm about to share with you within this particular video, especially when it comes to boosting the awareness of your brand or branding in general, oh man, it is so important to be able to understand these things, but equally understand them to allow them to help you to show up how you're supposed to be showing up, especially to keep in line with the congruency of your standards and your beliefs as well. So that being said, folks, please make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe to this channel. And before you get stuck into this video, also remember to stick to the very end of this video, because as always, I've got a way to make sure that you are actually taking action with all the things that I'm showcasing to you. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. So as I shared with you, we're going to be talking about what is branding for small businesses. Now, there are things that I want to make sure that you are specifically aware of. And there are three ways in particular that I want to make sure that you are definitely clued up on when it comes to helping to understand what is branding for small businesses. So now the first thing that I really want you to just sort of think about, especially when it comes to understanding branding for small businesses. Understand that a brand or having a brand for your small business is a way that helps you to set your reputation or even to build on your reputation. And I want to inject this phrase, and I know I've shared it before, but I want to share it with you again. Repetition equals reputation. That's repetition equals reputation. Meaning, the more and more you do something, the more and more you share something, the more and more that you show up in a specific kind of a way consistently, is the more and more that starts building as your reputation. People start recognizing you for specific things or specific colors or specific wording or specific messages that they often hear you saying. So branding, especially when it comes to small businesses, it's a great way to help set your reputation. When you have a brand that represents you and your standards and your beliefs, you have a way of setting your reputation so that it's nice and familiar to all of your audience who come across your path. And that's your specific audience, by the way. Those who you are actually wanting to work with. And those who are actually resonating and listening to your message that you're actually sharing. Now, the second thing that I really want you to just really think about, especially when it comes to branding for small businesses, is the idea of positioning. So off the back of reputation, the one that you're setting naturally, you're also doing this next thing, which is positioning. You're positioning yourself as that go-to expert. You're positioning yourself as the one who has the information about the industry, about the subject, about all the things that you're wanting your audience to know about. And you're positioning yourself as that value-based entity that gives your people what they need. It helps them to understand that you equally understand them. And when they have that understanding, that's when they listen more, that's when they engage more, and that's when they pay attention to what it is that you're saying, because they get you. When you position yourself in the right way, again, that is congruent to your standards and beliefs, your audience now get you. And when they get you, they understand that you can actually help them, rather than your competition, which is Joe Blogs or even Jesse Blogs down the road, who is doing something similar to you. And yes, that can be so familiar to the point that they are pretty much next door to you or across the road from you. So the way that you position yourself helps your audience to know that they come directly to you rather than going to your competitor, who is super close to you. And on that note, it kind of leads me on to the third point when it comes to branding for small businesses. Well, branding for small businesses also helps you to stand out, because when you're standing out, it kind of leads back into the idea of positioning and equally also reputation. It's a way of you showing up as you, according to your standards, according to your beliefs, and the real reason why you're doing what you're doing. Because again, folks, when you are showing up in that kind of a way, you are standing more true to yourself. You are standing more with certainty to the reason why you're doing what you're doing when it comes to your brand. And you're standing with the truth or authenticity that really resonates with not only you, but equally the audience that you're wanting to work with, or more specifically, that you're wanting to help. So bear those things in mind. Keep those things in mind, especially when it comes to understanding branding and how it can actually help small businesses more specifically, but what it is for small businesses too. It's a way of making sure that you're not only showing up, but you're doing so by standing out. You're doing so by positioning yourself, and you're doing so by setting your reputation that really suits not only you, but equally the audience that you're trying to help as well, because you're really hitting the nail on the head with the messages that they actually really need to hear. And you're also hitting the nail on the head with the messages that actually resonate with them too. So how do you keep moving forwards? What does that even look like? Well, you start with a checklist just like this. So in the description box underneath this video, click on that link, fill in just a few details, and I'm going to fire over to you this checklist that will literally showcase to you my key principles. My key principles will help you to understand the things that you really need to make sure that you're homing in on in order to build your brand that is suitable to you, to your standards and your beliefs. You get the gist of what I'm saying here, right? It's all about your standards and your beliefs, because if you are not representing yourself, if you are not showing up with your standards or your beliefs, there's going to be a natural pushback. And that natural pushback actually gets showcased in the way that you're actually showing up in front of your audience. So if you've ever felt like that before, or you're feeling some kind of a resistance, well, you start here. Make sure you go ahead and click the link that's in the description box underneath this video. Then, once I fire over that information to you, go ahead and get started, get cracking with discovering what your brand should actually be for your business, for who you are. What is it representing? Or how is it going to represent you? How are you going to allow it to do so? So, do that. Then share your results with me, because I actually want to find out. I'm nosy like that. So please go ahead and share that information with me. Equally, also, please make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe to this channel. Please share this video with others that you think that could really benefit from a video just like this, and from receiving information just like this. And folks, as always, I will see you on the other side.